Alright guys, I got the heads back. I got the welding done and the resurfacing, and they flowed them for me. And they flow like amazing. They beat my Brodex 3 heads. I didn't import them. Those came off of a truck pulling big block Chevy 540, and I forgot the gentleman's name that ported them, but he's a professional porter for truck pulling. And obviously they hog them out because they're just up there in the RPM, just making power, making power. So it's not like street or drag racing where you need the power to come in all RPM range from 100 RPM, 1000 RPM to whatever 8000 RPM. Those things just RPM 8000, 9000 and stay there. So it's a totally different port job, which um, if you could look at the peak numbers, I even got close to that or matched it. So these are going to be way stronger, way more pulling right off the get-go. They flow a lot more, and the low flow numbers at 100, all the way from 200 to 800 thousandths lift. So they're going to be really pulling the whole power band compared to the Brodix if I would have ran those. I didn't want those little two spots in the chambers to glow or produce carbon on them, and then I'll detonate, and then detonation is not what I want. So um, had that fixed. It took a long time, like literally almost 3.5 weeks. Got them today, this morning. We had appointments. I didn't know. Otherwise, I was going to put them on today, which is Monday today. But here's a quick look at them again, and I'll let you know pretty much what they did. Basically, this chamber right here had a gouge right there, and then this one did too. Right here on the outside. Now, I mean, for a regular motor, that would have been fine, but I'm running 93 octane on the street and 113 race fuel at the track. And I can change my tunes in my MSD box. So when you're running 93 octane on this compression, even dynamic or static that I'm running, which I'll give you the specs later on that, you cannot have anything getting carbon on it, detonating, or glowing, detonating. You need the right plugs, you need the right timing. Everything needs to be perfect. So I was not taking that chance, so I had them done. They did put one of the seats in too. There was a little mark on one of the seats, so I had them replace one seat and do the valve job again. So they look really nice. They're clean now and they're resurfaced. They stayed at 119 cc with the blending, so they look great. 2.350 intake, 1.88 exhaust, same as the Brodix. These have new Trick Flow valves, same ones that came from factory, the 365 power port CNC 365 Trick Flow heads. These are the same valves that came in. I just bought the same ones. I could have gone to Fiera or something like that, but I just figured just keep them all the same. So I got the same ones that came in originally, and I got these off a Dragster. but the valves wore out, so I just put new ones in from Trick Flow. Now the port job, like I said in my other video, all I did was 60 grid. I did not change anything else except for that around the valve guide. That is thinned about 1/8 of an inch total. So 1/8 of an inch divided into 2, and that's how much I took off of each side. A total of 1/8 of an inch. See that boss? From the top of the boss, the guide, down, I took 1/8 of an inch off total. So you divide that in half, and that's what I took off of each side. And I made that that vane turn towards the center of the chamber more on the short runner. And I'm gonna see if Melissa will show me how to put the flow sheet in the pictures in this video. I'll add it later or something, or now. Like I said, I gotta go to some appointments. And I'll get that added so you can see the flow sheets. I'm gonna compare it with the flow sheet. Will be on the right side will be the Brodex heads, and the left side will be the TFS heads. I do have a video online I just posted at the flow bench showing that. The exhaust runners are polished as much as I could, so it's a real fine finish. Oh, and really polished on the outside, if you could see, as much as I could. And the intakes are 60 grid. All this is 60 grid. All of them were measured, done equally by me. The flow sheet shows they are some badass heads that are gonna make some power. And we'll find that out in a couple weeks. Take it to the track. I'm probably not gonna dyno it. I'm gonna break it in on the street or at the track, drain the oil after it breaks in the rings, and run driven oil, hot rod oil, and make a full run. I am not gonna beat on it like like really beat on it. I am gonna hit it at about 3200 launch, shift when I'm really getting into it. The last couple pulls, it's gonna be 3200 launch, shifting at 72 to 7400, and I'm only gonna do that for a couple runs, and then I'm gonna change the oil again. Check the oil filter, make sure there's no metal, and I'll take it to the track a couple times, and hopefully my buddy can have a chassis dynoed. And see what it'll do at the differential. I do have 514 gears, which is a little bit too much, but we'll find out at the track. Springs are pack springs up to 900 lift. I'm only going to be around 850. Spring pressures are at 285 on the seat. for the street, and 800 at open at 850 lift. I'm well far away from coil bind, but not too far to create bouncing of the spring. They're perfect. Titanium retainers by pack. Brand new keepers, brand new springs, brand new seals. There they are. They're going with me tomorrow to the shop. See when we can get them on. Trick Flow big block Chevy rectangular ports, 365cc CNC chambers with 119 runners. 119 chambers, 365 CNC runners. I think, like I said, I'm going to put hopefully the picture of the flow sheet. It's going to be awesome. You guys are going to love it. Real flow sheet numbers, not advertised or anything like that. Those are real numbers off of the flow bench, and the numbers off of this flow bench are actual flow numbers, not fudged. It was flowed on a 4.500 bore, and this is what this has. This motor is a 548, so it's a 4.530 bore. So you're going to see actual flow numbers that are actually for this motor, because it was flowed on a 4.5 bore. As I said, 2.350 intake valve, and exhaust is 1.88. I believe it's 800 lift. I'm at 415 CFM. 800 lift, sorry. They were only flowed to 200 to 800. If you look at the flow sheet, left side is Trick Flow, right side is Brodex. You'll see that it's up between 10 to 16 CFM from 200 lift all the way up to 800 lift. 700 and 800 are pretty close to the Brodex, but like I said, those were hogged out and it's still kept up. There's no dips in the flow. All of it, every lift, it increased. There's nowhere where it decreased. So on the flow bench, it sounded awesome. The airflow, there was no restrictions at any lift. So we're gonna pull some numbers on the eighth of the mile. But quick video. I gotta go. I'll see if I can upload that picture of the flow sheet. If not, look at the previous video. You can zoom in and take a picture. You'll see that the difference on the flow. On the left side is the Trick Flow heads, and they're badass. I know I keep on saying that, but I'm excited. I really did a good job on the porting, not going too far. A lot of people go too far and that messes up the flow. Alright guys, subscribe, like if you like the video. If not, don't. Subscribe if you want to check out my videos coming up with the car running and going down the track and on the street, car shows and all that. Alright, see you guys later.